Yesterday, we read about what happens to plants in the fall and in the winter. So today, we're going to read about what happens to plants in the spring and in the summer. As we read, we'll look for important information about how plants change in the spring and in the summer. Then we will compare and contrast those two seasons together. We'll look for how or what things are the same about the two seasons and what are things that are different. So here we go. Follow along. We're going to first read chapter 3 about plants in the spring, and then we'll read chapter 4 about plants in the summer.
Chapter 3. Plants in Spring.
Spring is warmer than winter. The warmer temperatures help plants grow. The ground can thaw or become softer, and plants can get water again. This season is when many plants grow buds. Some buds become leaves, but other buds become flowers.
These apple trees have flowers in spring. Flowers and leaves begin as buds. Flower buds, leaf buds, flower buds. Look at text structure. Compare and contrast. Some words can help you understand how things are alike and different. Find the word than. This word is a clue that the author is comparing spring and winter. The word but is also a clue that the author is comparing. What is the author comparing?
Okay, let's go ahead and look at some words in here. So it says the ground can thaw. If you didn't know what the word thaw was, you could keep reading and it'll tell you. So it says the ground can thaw or become softer and plants can get water again. So remember we learned that in winter, the ground is frozen. So all the water is frozen and the plants cannot drink that water. Okay, think about like an ice cube. An ice cube is frozen. Okay, so they can't drink that water. But in the spring, the ground can thaw or it starts to become softer. So to thaw means to become softer, okay? All right, let's go ahead and type up some things that we learned about plants in the spring. So we know that plants in the spring get more sunlight than they do in the winter. We also learned that the ground thaws so plants can get water. And finally, the plants start to grow buds. And if you go outside and you look at the trees outside, right out my door, I can see them. And you look at the tips, they're starting to grow those little buds. Okay, so remember, buds look like this and they can either become flowers or sometimes they can become leaves. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and read about summer.
Chapter 4. Plants in Summer.
Temperatures are warmest in summer, and plants can get the most sunlight. The sunlight helps plants grow and bloom. Some plants grow more leaves and flowers in summer. Farmers harvest some crops, such as corn.
Many plants have flowers in summer. Corn, sunflowers, campanula. Did you know some plants have fruit in summer?
All right, let's go ahead and type up what we learned about plants in the summer. Let's see. Too big. All right, here we go. So we learned that summer is the warmest season. Oh, I messed it up. We also know that plants get the most sunlight. Oh no. What does that keep going big? Okay, here we go. We also know that some plants grow more leaves and flowers. So in the spring, the leaves and the flowers start to grow, but then in the summer they grow even more, okay? And we know that farmers harvest crops. Remember, harvest means to pick, such as corn. Okay, so think about spring and summer. Think about some things that, how are these seasons the same? Compare them and think about how they're different. Contrast them, okay? So some examples would be they're both kind of warm seasons, right? Only summer is warmer than spring. Also, something that might be the same is that there's sunlight, a lot of sunlight in both spring and summer. However, there's more sunlight in summer than in spring. And also, plants start growing in the spring and in the summer, okay? Whereas in the fall and the winter, the plants start to die. In the spring and in the summer, the plants start to grow, okay? All right.